Now I'm going to show you what I picked out from Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. I'm going to go by the list that I had wrote in the description box from the recommendations video. So everything under products mentioned. And there's been quite a few changes, so, and a few additions too. The first one I have is Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I was going to pick out another one since it was at such a great deal, but then I have, of course, one in my drawer already, like right here, and I knew that one was already here. Then I go and I look in my everyday makeup bag and I found another one, which I think I remember that was in there too. But then I go and look in my stash drawer. See, I have like 3 spots I always got to look at, and I found a third one in there, brand new, and that was the one that I picked out from the prior sale. So that would have been fall sale. So I said, no, you don't need a fourth one, and I did not pick that up. Next 2 items are from Becca, the Ultimate Love lipsticks and then the Ultimate lip liners. Now I knew I wasn't going to pick up any of the Love lipsticks. I already have quite a few of those in the shades that I like. I have red and nude. But for the lip definers, I wanted to see what the formula was like, so I was just only going to pick one lip liner out. And just going by what I could see online, and you know, the photos are kind of, they're just warped when they're coming from the brand or coming from Ulta's website. I really couldn't make up my mind, and then I couldn't, of course, we couldn't go into the stores because the store was shut down. So I just said, the less I have to worry about having to return, that's another thing. I think I need to figure out how I'm going to return some of the items, either by mail or I don't know when the stores are going to open up. Next is Exuviance's Performance Peel. Now, of course, Exuviance was the brand that I was most excited as far as a skincare to dive into for this year, but also at Ulta. So I did remember looking at the Performance Peel like in the morning, but then that day just got away from me. I can't even recall what was going on. I don't remember if it was a regular like school day at home or if it was a weekend day. I can't remember. And then when it came time to actually trying to pull the plug, I remember I was looking on the app in bed. I was like, I'm too tired for this. I'm tired, so I'm just gonna pass. The next item, of course, I did pick out. I remembered to get the Clarisonic the brush heads 2-pack here. This is in the deep Pore. So I was looking for the normal. I wanted to try just getting the normal again because my brushes are usually the deep Pore, but I didn't see it listed on the inside on the website. So deep Pore is what I picked out. I also picked out the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. That's the next item on my list. And I did get the anti-aging formula. I have, again, the original. I mentioned that in the other recommendation video. That used to be the one I would pretty much stick with. I started using anti-aging, and the more that I use anti-aging, the more that I realized I kept reaching for that one more, and I really liked how the eyeshadow and everything just looks. So I'm just going to stick with the anti-aging moving forward. MAC lip pencil, and I think I wrote Whirl and Soar. That day I remember that day clearly. I had the website up. I had the color selections that I wanted to get, and I had it up on the computer. And then I remember, of course, I had to do something real quick. That's what always seems to happen. Go back to the computer, and what was the first color I had in there? I remember I had the really bright purple in there. That was the one I wanted to get first because I didn't have that bright purple, I forgot what the color name is, in my liner collection, and then it sold out. Gone. And so every time I was looking at the other colors, I grabbed my other pencils trying to look. Gone. I mean, those pencils flew out the door. So I said, forget it. Forget it. I have Kylie Cosmetics lip gloss and her high gloss and the eyeshadow bronze palette. The bronze palette I already have. That was what I recommended in case you wanted a neutral, really good neutral palette. So I didn't need to pick that up again. But I did pick out a lipstick. I picked out the Bullet lipstick. I picked out another high gloss. I have one high gloss already in a more opaque color that I really like. And then I picked out the Koko K gloss. So I already knew I was going to get this one. High gloss formula. Out of all of her lip products, the high gloss is my favorite formula. I absolutely adore this formula. Thick and sticky. Well, it's not too sticky. It's just thick. I've used this gloss twice. And it was the second time that I reached for it to use it, did I realize, oh my God, is that all that's in here? Is that all that's in here? And why did I not recognize that before? I don't know why. But then I stuck this in, like, it's already up to, I stuck it in, put the wand back in, and then it all goes back up there. So it looks like I have a full size, lip gloss. Never fear, I have already found the dupe. The exact color of Kylie's High Gloss in Clear. It's the exact same color. See You Soon by L'Oreal. The Beach Bay gloss that I had said was part of my favorites video. The glowing lip gloss. Exact same color, exact doe foot applicator. The high gloss is a lot more thicker in texture. Don't care about that. The point is, this is already a favorite gloss. This, just for the fact that there's barely any in here, I'm like, The Koko Cake Gloss is another one. I haven't tried the color, so I said, let me go ahead and see what this is. This shade is quite, on its own, it's quite pale. And it said that, I believe, in the description, that it's like a paler type pink. So this one, though, on the lips kind of shears out to almost kind of what I have on now, but this is something else. And then I've been wearing that with the lipsticks. So I do like that one. I'll go ahead and keep it. For the bullet lipstick, this is the cream formula. The cream is my favorite in the line as far as her lipsticks. This is the Dulce de Leche. So that's the shade here, and or excuse me, the name. And then that's what the color looks like. And it gives off on me, it looks more of like a peach pink on me. I did pick out both of the brushes for Ulta powder brushes. I knew I was going to get these, the 211 and the 225. Look at this giant soft brush. Soft as the softest bunny's butt out there. Oh, so nice. I was on the fence about getting the next item, the Lancome Advanced Genevieve Serum. And I was thinking about picking it out. But then I said, you know what? You probably just need to stick with your Peach and Lily, because I didn't want to have another serum to add to my, I feel like there's a hair near my eye, into my skincare routine. So I just said, I'll just save the money and apply it towards the Peach and Lily. So I did say no. But I did, of course, have the screen up on that day, and that serum flew out the door. I knew it was going to sell out fast, but it did fly out the door. And then, of course, Peach and Lily is next, the Glass Skin Serum. So I picked out another one, and I'm almost done. Like, I probably have a few days left of my other one. So that just goes right back into its spot. Cover FX Monochromatic Blush and Bronzer Duo. That is a new item to me. This is something that is talked about a lot in the makeup community. A lot of people love this, so I'm finally on board. I did pick out the shade Suntan Bronze. This shade actually works as a bronzer on my skin tone. I didn't think it would at first, but it does. And then this highlighter, I have it mixed in with the highlighter that I have on today too. This is the Nicole Guerrero kit. Myself, I already know that I'm going to separate the two pans here and just use the matte for the bronzer, or use it as a blush, because it can deepen down into a blush for me. And then I'm going to be using this more so as a highlighter. I don't wear my bronzers with the heavy glow to it with like shimmer in it, so I will be keeping it separate. But I do like this. This blended, the couple times that I've used this is blended out just perfect on my cheeks. So I can see why everybody is loving that that duo. Last item to pick out is the Lime Crime, the Wet Cherry Glosses. So I picked out the clear shade, of course. Look, this is so appealing to look at. I like the little bubbles that's inside. And the doe foot wand that's in here, all the way down to the bottom, I still see a ton of gloss all up in there. So it doesn't make me feel like I'm not getting a lot in here. And then I also picked out Bitter Cherry, which is a nice nude tone shade for my skin tone. I'll just put this on real quick, just in case I don't have time to do a close-up shot. It's opaque enough, and of course will look good on its own or with a lipstick on top. It has a, I don't know if it's supposed to be like a cherry scent, like different variations of cherry, but to me it just smells like a fruity scent. Yeah, because Clear smells a little bit different. They're not thick, they're not too thin, they're just like that happy medium. And I feel that they're more so that traditional lip gloss. So it says on the box like ultra glossy or ultra shiny. They're shiny, they're not like pure glass, which is kind of what I like as well. Really do like. But they're a comfortable wear on the lips. So to me, they're just a lot more of that, just a traditional gloss. I need to wear them a little bit more to decide like my final thoughts. But for now, I know for sure that they're going to stay because they're at a good deal. Almost forgot to mention that I did get the Bare Minerals Complete Coverage Serum Concealer too. Why isn't this on my list? I thought for sure I recommended this one because this is a concealer I already wear in dark to deep. Must have. Absolutely love that. Moving on to the items that are new. So I didn't know about them at the time. So the first two items that I actually got at the store. So this is before the Ulta shutdowns of all the stores. So I was able to play around with it. And I'm very happy that I got these two items. So this is the actual dual end brush that I wound up picking up. This is the Airbrush number 135, the dual-ended eye transformer. However, even though it's meant for the eyes, so it's flat on one side, and then it has this nice little fluffy tapered brush, but it's tapered out, flared, like how I would use to put on my under eye powder, or in a pinch if I needed to blend out my concealer, especially concealer that is a lot more emollient, a lot more thicker in consistency. And then you have the flat side again. So instead of using this for the eye, because this just looks like a bigger version of ABHs that you kind of get in their palettes, I was using this brush for complexion products. So it was a great deal. I saw it in the store. I wasn't interested in the other two that were available, so it was a hot buy. So I snagged this, and that's how I've been doing, is just applying the powder. I like smaller, fluffier, tapered brushes to really set my concealer and or go into hard to reach areas on the face. This is how you get that seamless look. And of course, you can really focus and concentrate it with the flat side. So use your brushes in other multiple ways per your lifestyle and your face shape and so forth. I don't stick with whatever it's intended. So very happy I picked that out. Then, also from IT Cosmetics, is their Bye Bye Pores blush. So this is just another item that was kind of over here by the brushes. I started to look at it. This is the shade Naturally Pretty, which they say is a warm peach. This color turns out to be the exact cherub shade I am forever looking for. I call it, the cherub shade, the flushed pink cheeks that just is that Renaissance painting. So when I come across blushes that give off that effect on my cheeks, and I get compliments on that, like, ooh, you've got that rosy cheek. We all can have that rosy cheek look. It's just going to look different on the different skin tones. This is the color that produces that on me. Cherub. With the little, what's he got? A little arrow that will never hit me. Cherub shade, again, Naturally Pretty. This shade is also extremely close in color to one of my favorite blushes from Milani, and it's the Rose blush from Milani, again in Tea Rose. However, Milani's Rose blushes, the powder just, I cannot seem to get the powder to last more than a few years. I had to toss all my other powder blushes, I would say close to maybe 2 years ago, because I just could not produce enough pigment. I don't know what happens to it. So I can do what I can from This Is My Tea Rose. That was the one I kept, but I can already tell it's starting to not really look the same way, as vibrant as it used to. Good to know that once this leaves, this conks on me one day, and that's how it is. It's just one day I'm going to use it and it's gone. I have its replacement. And then I have a primer here, Glow Primer. This is from The Route Is the Girlfriend Skin Loving Glow Primer. So this was a hot buy or an online deal. I think it was an online deal only during one of the days, and it was early on in the week. And I remember because I was like, how did I miss that? I don't even like remember seeing that, but it is a glow primer. So I was reading up on it. I've never heard of the company before. I guess it's a skincare company. I want to say she is very popular, either an RN or she's a doctor, and it is that makeup and skincare combined. So my first thing was making sure that this didn't have any type of like sparkle glitter in it, and it doesn't. So I was reading up on some of the reviews, not too many though. And another thing I wanted to make sure was, of course, the shade, because this shade here that's in here is supposed to be, you know, flattering for most skin tones. First time I used this, I remember the experience. It's a good base to use for my makeup, but then once it kind of settles into my skin, I can't feel it, but the overall texture of this product and my skin, it's not what I thought it would be. I'm thinking that it would still kind of remain a little bit more slick, I guess is the word I'm thinking of, and a lot more dewier. But, and it might be because the first ingredient is dimethyl gum. I'm not sure. But I wasn't too impressed with just how my skin looked after I finished prepping. Usually I'm fine with it. In this region right here, which is where my pores are, like it's not pronounced there. I don't have enlarged pores to begin with, but I would see a lot more in this area that I'm used to seeing. So that was the second thing. And then the third is I just am not noticing an overall glow to this product. The retail price for this product, so not on sale, is pricey. I thought it was pricey. And that was what a lot of people were saying in the reviews, like, this is a pricey item. So definitely for that price, at that price, I expected a lot more than what my requirements would be, especially for, you know, a primer, a glow type of primer. Last product is the Brow Blade from Urban Decay. So this is their waterproof pencil and ink stain. So the only reason why I got this, and I said this to myself, you're not supposed to be buying any more brow products. You're fine. You threw away your brow products. What you doing? Looking at it. There's two things why I picked this up. One, when this first came out, I was already looking at it, looking in the store, swatching it out and so forth, and it just kind of just got away from me. But then the second is the price for this. When Urban Decay is at a discount, that is a good 10% less than what they charge for the pro price, that's when I say pick out whatever it is to try, because that's at a really good steal. So I did get the shade that is Dark Drapes, which was, again, it was kind of hard to figure out what shade, but Dark Drapes turned out to be a good color on me. The pencil side here is, the formula is dry enough where you can draw your lines, but still smooth enough to kind of move it into place, and it stays that way all day. That was something that was quite impressive. Thin pencil does a job. Nice, secure cap. Then the ink side here, which is where I thought was going to get a little bit more difficult, just I already know the brush ends of any type of a liquid or a felt tip pen on Urban Decay is going to be the thinnest pencil you can find, because they already have that reputation and I already have those products. We're just talking thin lines. So the ink stain was fairly easy to just work. It will draw those little hair-like strokes. I can draw a line and, you know, draw a tail and then fill in on the opposite side. I just want to make sure and remember to make sure that I'm closing the cap fairly well so that this side can not dry out. Any questions about any of the products I talked about, make sure you leave them down as comments, and also your own experience as well with these products. I always like to hear from you. Talk about anything down below in the comments. But everyone, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I do appreciate it. I hope you're all hanging in there and trying to do the most of your day or evening. Thinking of you. Everyone, please be safe, be well, wash your hands, and stay home. Again, thank you. And as always, I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye.